So I've been ill over the last, I think, last few days. It started off with a slight cough, throat irritation, and it went into a full blown phlegm situation. It left me very tired, left me very sick. So I've spent the last few days horizontal, like sleeping, just sleeping. Um, and over this time, one of the songs that I was working on a few months ago uh, was is now finally out there for people to listen to. Um, but what's really great is I think I think for a guy like me who does a lot of stuff, if you don't know, I have a game shop. I have my own business. I do a little bit of writing. I dabble in some video. I do a little bit inking for comic books and stuff. I do a lot of things. So it's very rare that I am still. And for someone who lives on his own, being still is also being isolated, right? Which is not a bad thing. Trust me, it's not a bad thing. But it was a week of yeah, being horizontal and figuring out things, and having a look at where things are, um, which I think I should do this more often. So it's highly recommended to get sick ever so often. Yeah, so it's because of this, I've had a chance to reevaluate the different projects I've got working on, and in what I want to do. But since we're on this channel and we're strictly doing the music part of my life, I'm very happy with the two songs that are currently going to be on a compilation that I've curated that should be out in a while. Hopefully by the time you watch this, it's already out. And this will be reviewed. I'll actually review this compilation simply because I think I've managed to get together a bunch of people whom I quite like. It's it's a compilation of people I like, So and yeah, so the two songs I wrote were just for this compilation, and they were done as they were done because I want to, like, practice songwriting. I mean, if you listen to the last previous video, it's very difficult to write songs in a different language, and it's avenues like this where I try to push myself and write music in a different language. So one of the songs I released is called Kuala Lumpur Kau Tipu Lagi. Kuala Lumpur Kau Tipu Lagi, which basically means Kuala Lumpur, you lied to me again. And now this song has actually been the song I've been wanting to write for a very, very long time, because I think coming from a small town, I've been quite disillusioned about what it is to be, in the city. Um, while another song I wrote about being from a small town, Kampong Boy, is a bit more upbeat. It's about going to town and going to the big city and trying to make it. I think this is the sequel, Kuala Lumpur Kau Tipu Lagi, because it feels like uh, I've reached a point where I realize, it seems like everything I'm doing, it's all the promises are just lies, or all that was promised is not being delivered. Um, so it's not how I'm feeling, to be honest, about all of it. It's been niggling at the back of my mind, to be honest. The thing is, if I were to succumb to blaming somebody else for not succeeding, then I would be like any other burnt out musician, grumbling in a corner. But while writing the song, was a chance to tap into the frustrations of being a singer songwriter here in Malaysia, um, um, and singing in English, because it's not here in Malaysia. English is not exactly the most popular acoustic vibe tune, because of the way mass consumption is. So in having to resort to write to in Malay to express how I the frustration was just felt like the most obvious way to do it, I think. So I was lying in bed and I was thinking, yeah, has Kuala Lumpur lied to me? I don't know, I'm not so sure. I think I'm so far from being done, right? So, this is just a moment in time when I'm feeling, that part of me, that frustration, which is a part of me, had to be written in song. I've had some feedback from the song. People, oh, the sing is very monotonous, but I think the point was just to get it out there, and just to say what I need to say, without over dramatizing it. The lyrics actually, the first write of the lyrics was actually so direct. It was absolutely so direct, but I had to rewrite it. I had to rewrite it so it wasn't so direct. The good thing about doing music for a long, long time is you can actually, gauge when something needs to be direct. Like when I do my punk rock music, it needs to be direct, right? But I think there's sometimes, there is an art to it being subtle. So that's a route I went with Kuala Lumpur Kau Tipu Lagi. And then, like I said, while I was passed out, while I was in between of my my coughing my coughing bouts, excuse me, and the phlegm, the new song Biar Habis came out, and I didn't get much chance to all I did was when it came out, I was like, oh yeah, it's out, and I just like shared it wherever I could, and I went back to sleep. And over the times, lucid moments when I was awake or asleep or half awake and half asleep, I was thinking about where the inspiration for Biar Habis is coming from. And I think a lot of us tend to be in a situation where we don't know, right? And when we're interested in somebody and somebody's interested in you, it's either that person's not telling you what you need to hear, and it's basically you trying to like put your foot down, and trying to get an answer. You want to move on as well. I mean, that's pretty much where I'm coming from with that. And it was a chance to actually pull in experiences, and to be older, you have the luxury of a lot of experiences to pull from. The song does sound I think of all the songs I've ever written, I think this is the most mainstream song I've ever done, to be honest. But yeah, no apologies for that. I think the song called for that. Yeah, but before I go, this is just the vlog, just to put myself here, so that when the next project happens, I'll know where things were at this point. I do want to say that um if you're like a musician and you're doing music, I think stop for a minute, or if you can stop for a week. Mm, I know a lot of folks who actually have stopped for years, but stop for a week, especially if you're the kind of musician who's constantly writing, which is what I do. I constantly write new music, and the only reason you don't hear it is because it either sounds too similar to somebody, or it sounds like it's written by somebody else. But yeah, just take a stop for a minute, because when I was lying in bed and I was thinking about where I am, and um, being still, you know, you get a chance to look at the art you're making. This what I do is my art, which is why, I take my time with it, and there's always like a behind the scenes story of what's happening, um, because I think I'm using music these days as a real form of my own expression to what I want to say, which I have not had a chance to say which is very difficult for me to say because it's easy to say something, but nobody's gonna listen, man. So nobody's gonna listen to you and your rambles. So write a song about it, and hopefully it's a tune that somebody will hum. And maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years down the line, if it's still available, somebody might say, oh yeah, I guess he was saying something. But the most important thing is to archive it and just write something. I also want to say, I think the break has been good for me. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the video. It's me telling you I've been sick and talking to you about the two songs. Hopefully in the next video, I'll probably be sharing, reviewing the CD. It's called. You know what? I'll leave it for the next video. So that's pretty much it.